everybody. We are back today with Brandy of Brandy Burrow Astrology. And today we are going to, on Brandy's channel, go check out her channel. We kind of did a theme of drownings. We looked at the death of Matthew Perry, which was pretty recent. And here we are going to be looking at the death of Robert Maxwell, who died on November 5th of 1991. The name may or may not sound familiar to everybody, but he was the daddy of Ghislaine Maxwell, or Ghislaine, as I call her, and I will be continuing to call her throughout this video because she's an asshole. But sorry, this video we can cut up in.
We're being serious with Matthew Perry, but we're gonna have our time now.
Yes, because he does not appear that he was an asshole, but these people are assholes. So these people are assholes, and I have no problem saying that. He fell off of his boat, or whatever happened with him, on November 5th of 1991. They found him in the ocean off the Canary Islands. Now he went on his boat, which was named Lady Ghislaine. That's what the name was. He went on his boat on November 4th of 1991. After getting in a fight with his son on the phone about a scheduled meeting with the Bank of England on his default of 50 million pounds or euros or something. He was a media proprietor. He was the owner of the Mirror Group and Macmillan Publishers. He also was or had been a member of Parliament. So well known, had a lot of success. I put that in because it was found after he died that he was actually the company, the Mirror Group company, was in a massive amount of bankruptcy. He had taken a lot of money from the pensions of the people that worked there. Fucking asshole. So, but his death, there's a lot of weird shit around his death because, when they found him, they didn't find anything but what was claimed to be a graze to the left shoulder. I don't really know what the fuck that means, but very little trauma to the body, essentially.
That sounds like light scraping to the shoulder.
Yeah, I figure that's what that kind of, yeah, something like that. It's not super clear, but that's like all the trauma that they found to his body. 3 different
and he was found about 24 hours later, my understanding.
No, it was like 14.
14. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
He made the last time the crew on the boat saw him, or he made contact with him, was at 4:25 a.m. on November 5th. Didn't see him in the morning, I guess, or later on in the morning like they normally would. He was found to be missing, and then they found him around 14 hours later. So for that chart, I have 6:25 p.m. as the time that he was found. That seems to be what I've seen. Other things too. I've seen like 12 hours a couple of places, but 14 was what I saw the most frequently. So I went with 6:25 as the found time. Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything.
Did I read that a theory is he was peeing?
Yes, that's where I was going. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second.
I just thought of that. I was like, did I read this?
That's where I was going. This motherfucker was known to piss off the side of his boat, fucking naked, I guess, because they found him naked, and I guess that was like normal for him to like walk around like he's a fucking Chippendale dancer on his boat or something. Whatever. But he was known to do that. So there's a theory that he was like taking a piss and fell overboard. Now, 3 different pathologists could not really agree on like what took him out, right?
I wonder if his bladder was empty.
That's actually, I don't know. I don't know that was I don't know. That's a good fucking question though. Don't know the answer to this good fucking question. But 3 pathologists could not come to like a consensus on what actually killed him. So they just kind of, to me, it kind of sounds like they go, we don't know what the fuck killed him. So we're going to say it was a heart attack and he fell in.
Give him a dignified death. It was a heart attack.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seems like. Like nobody fucking knows shit. And so they're just going to say that. Um, no, there is a theory that he, had a heart attack, peeing while taking a piss, fell overboard. Also a theory that he just fell overboard as well without the heart attack involved. Theory that it was suicide because he was in a lot of, he was about to, sounds like it really fucked. So, there is the suicide theory, though one of his sons and some other people don't think that he would have killed himself. There's also a theory, I can't not bring this up, that he worked for intelligence agencies such as the CIA, Mossad, KGB even. There are theories that he was a triple agent. There are a lot of theories with that. And there are weird things with that. I will throw that out. I do think there's some strange things like him getting a state funeral or almost a state funeral from Israel. Having the prime minister, the president at the time, and multiple members, both present at the time and former, of Israeli intelligence showing up. I think that's interesting. It does kind of make you wonder, what was he into? So anyway, I guess I don't need to go on any further. Should we look at the chart for when he was last made contact?
I've already looked up the rulership for urine, so I'm ready to put that theory to the test.
That's hilarious. I'm gonna look up piss in the rulership.
I'm gonna look up pee.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Okay, let me share. Hopefully I share the right one. Hold on, let me see. Okay. There we go. Okay, this is his last contact that he made. Last contact he made with the crew of his boat at 4:25 a.m. around the Canary Islands in Spain. What you notice first?
Well, I do see the Libra ascendant.
Yes.
Which can also rule the kidneys. But
yeah.
the ascendant ruler, Venus, being Robert here in the 12th house of loss, and we kind of see this with death commonly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't ignore that Scorpio stellium there in the 7th house. And Mercury, even though it's in a different sign, and Saggy is in a detriment, is joining them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
So, the money issues,
yes,
definitely represented in this chart.
Yes, that stood out to me too. All that, and the debt, right? We're talking about Scorpio, which could like other people's shit,
other people's money.
Yeah, definitely stood out. What did piss actually come up as being?
So I figured it had to do with Scorpio.
Oh, because of expelling,
kind of around that area of the organ.
Yeah, and it's releasing, right? Like expelling something.
And Pluto, which I did know Pluto, I don't know how I knew this, but I knew it ruled like sewage.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. Uh-huh.
So urine would be Scorpio, Pluto, and then it has the moon in parentheses.
Okay.
So.
And the moon and the sign with that rules the kidneys.
The guy might have been peeing. I'm not ruling it out. What a way to go. I'm sorry. I know I'm getting so inappropriate here.
Dude, this guy was such an asshole though. Who cares? Like motherfucker. No, this motherfucker, like he had stolen so much from the pensions of these people that worked for him so that he could keep the company going. And they never got back everything. Like they got half of what they were supposed to. Like, be inappropriate. This guy was an asshole.
Like, what a way to go out. Who knows? I mean, you never know when your last moments are going to be, and it might be when you're going to the bathroom. I mean, helping Elvis, like.
Yeah, it did.
It happens to a lot of people from what I understand. But, yeah. So we got Scorpio. We got the moon in Libra. He might have been peeing.
Now the descendant, right? This can be a perpetrator. This can be like a catalyst or a cause. We have that in Aries.
The very strong
is,
Mars. I mean, it's in its home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm looking at this and I'm seeing that Aries descendant, and I'm thinking, okay, Aries is more self energy, right? But then we have that Mars in Scorpio. I will say this.
Cazimi too, depending on the time.
I'm sorry.
We could have a Mars Cazimi going on too.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, it's about, I mean, some people claim it's within 17 minutes of Mars being with the sun. Some say it's with a degree. It's like within a degree in 1 minute. If the time, we got it kind of estimated on the time, we could have a really extra strong Mars going on.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me think that in some way, shape, or form, his actions played a very direct role in what happened this particular, whatever happened at this time, his actions played a direct role in it.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean suicide, right? Or whatever, but something that his actions played a role.
Yeah, I'm looking at like the suicide theory in this chart. We do have the 8th house ruler in the 12th house.
Mm-hmm.
It's not uncommon to have 12th house come up in suicide because it's like self-sabotage. And I don't mean this just talking about him. I don't think everyone who does suicide is like self-sabotage. There's a lot going on, but
yeah.
Generally speaking here, and we have Jupiter in this house as well, in the 12th house, in a detriment. It could, I wouldn't rule out suicide yet.
Yeah.
I also wouldn't rule out peeing and falling over. So we're kind of seeing some multiple things going on in this chart.
Yeah, we are.
Should we
look at what? Go ahead.
Oh, I know. I'm just thinking out loud here. I'm not thinking suicide on this, though. I mean, if we really want to pull it out, I think we could see some markers, but I don't think so.
What about the other theories? Perhaps tied to clandestine intelligence agencies.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I'm kind of
that Capricorn 4th house.
Yeah.
It kind of brings in a sense of authority or
government.
You got Uranus right there too, by the way. It's definitely representing unexpected events, but being that's in Capricorn makes me question that. Yeah.
I'm wondering about that myself. What about with the 8th, Taurus on the cusp of the 8th?
Yeah. Which Venus is in a fall. I think I forgot to mention that earlier, but that's kind of fishy.
Yeah. Should we look at fixed stars?
Yeah, we should.
For this one? Which one you want to look at?
I'll take Venus, 25 degrees Virgo, if we got it.
Okay. I'll do the ascendant. Just curious what. Also we've got a Libra rising.
Yeah, I thought about that. It's kind of, I didn't expect that.
Perhaps multiple.
Yeah. Multiple victims.
Which that is kind of I don't know.
Get this. There is a fixed star at 26 degrees, 38 minutes Virgo, which is the closest we got to the 25-degree Virgo here for Venus. Dishonest income.
Yeah. That's fitting. That's very fitting.
So who else was involved? That brings me to my next question. Who else is involved in this with him? And is this a couple, you know?
Going into all of that would, I mean,
I know we need.
I want to tread lightly with that part because I do have my,
yeah,
I do have my ideas, and I think some people watching this probably know where I'm going with that, but there were yes, I think there were definitely people involved with this as well.
Which we don't have to discuss today.
Okay, so there's one at 4 degrees Libra.
Okay.
Order, congeniality, lovable nature, refinement, and honor. Now, from what I've read about this fucker, he there might be some people that consider him lovable. I know Ghislaine was quite the daddy's girl. But like from what I understand, like he wasn't, like he would also like completely cut his kids down.
Oh.
Like they would have, from what I've read anyway, they would have Sunday dinners or Sunday afternoon lunches or whatever the fuck it was they did on Sunday, and like it was a lot of cutting his kids down while this was going on, like, and so like things like that. And like I've heard like I don't know, maybe it depended on how you knew him, but lovable is not quite the way that I would that I've seen him described often. So that's kind of,
cutting your kids down is not normally a trait of being lovable.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's okay, I was gonna look at the moon, but it's kind of far, the one that's there. Let's
now,
see.
The moon is via combusta.
Huh?
The moon is via combusta.
Yes, it is.
I mean, typically you see that with crime.
Yeah. Aren't some of those planets in Scorpio also along there as well?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's interesting because I looked up real quickly some fixed stars in Scorpio. We're getting some around the 12-degree mark, and they seem very positive. So kind of threw me.
Let me see. There's nothing. How wide do you think is too wide?
Man, fixed stars, I mean, usually like a degree in 30 minutes ish. So if it's, I don't know what you got.
There's one at 235 Aries.
Oh yeah, I was looking. Yeah. Read it. Let's see if it makes sense, because we are estimating a time a little bit. So it could be on there.
Laziness, self-destruction, nervousness, illness, inhibitions, and loss.
See, I think that applies.
I think it probably does too.
Okay, and I did want to look up that fixed star as 0 degrees Aquarius, which is where we find Saturn when this happens. And we got a 0 degree Aquarius, 0 degree in 56 minutes. It's actually, bam, right there. Spoil and plunder, imagination, strong passions, will, clairvoyance, fame, powerful mind.
Huh. Okay.
It's definitely a case where you got someone very, it kind of reminds me just the feel of this, like when you have Jupiter expanding too much, we don't have his actual birth time from what I understand. Kind of makes me wonder. It's a little extravagant, it sounds.
Yes. Yeah. Let me see. There's one, there is one right. I was looking up trying to see if there was one like around that Mars.
Yeah, there are some 12-degree Scorpio stars, big stars.
Yeah. There's one that's almost right on that sun though. Like this one's at 12 at 12:16 Scorpio. That sun is at 12:15. It's honor, dignity, literate, brilliant, poetic, scandals, betrayal and love, sorrow through children. Now I don't, the sorrow through children thing is interesting, but kind of flipping it, I know that when this happened, that kind of like dismantled their little empire they had.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really sorrow through children, but it was definitely, I would think, sorrowful for the children.
This chart, the more we dive into it, the more I feel like the word opportunity. Like, could it be the guy is walking around naked peeing and someone's like,
yeah,
yeah, we can make this look natural. Like, I don't know why I get the feels that it's not just one cause. It's not like, it's just opportunity.
Yeah, that's, yes. Yeah, no, I could see that. I could see that. Especially, I don't know. Especially if he was becoming a problem. And it sounds like, I mean, I don't know. Let's just roll with it. Let's just say he was some sort of agent for one of the alphabet agencies here, or some clandestine service, or whatever, whatever. I mean, he's in a lot of debt. I mean, that could be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It could be.
Well, I'm not going to say who. We don't have to get into that. But yeah, because, you're worth money sometimes dead.
Yes.
Yeah. Insurance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Should we look at the chart for when he was found?
Yes.
Okay. Let me stop this one and okay. Okay, so this is when he was found. Again, I couldn't find an exact time. All I could find was like 14 hours later. So I set it for 6:25 p.m. I only throw that out there in case somebody else has seen like an exact time. That's where this time came from.
We got the same ruler. I mean, it's a different ascendant, but we still have the Venus rulership here.
Yep.
So we're still seeing him in a not in a good position. Of course, we know he's dead, but yeah.
Yep.
The Scorpio stellium moves to, for me, a more interesting placement here, though, in that sixth house.
Yes.
And Pluto right there on the descendant. Sorry, I'm just going crazy over here.
No, yeah. I know. And we've got Mars and Pluto sandwiching that descendant.
That's intense. That's not like, oh, I had an accident peeing. That's some.
Yes. And I'd also like to throw out that Mars in this chart is the ruler of that 12th house, which could be hidden enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Which feels kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It also feels like here we might be, if we're going that way with it, it might not just be one agency. We're talking multiple like multiple agencies.
And we now got Saturn in Aquarius, which is groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the ninth house of more foreign affairs and
conjunct that midheaven. Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now we have the 4th house in Leo, with the sun placed in the sixth, which, depending on your astrological views, it's not very visible, in the sixth house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think clarity is ever going to be the case here.
No, and they're both the sun and the moon are below the horizon too, which probably doesn't bode well for.
It's a new moon too, so it's like dark,
Yeah.
Yeah. The Uranus in the eighth house is interesting. Unpredictable.
Yes, unpredictable. Also, there's something about that too with it being the modern ruler of Aquarius, that Aquarius midheaven, right? And that can also be like, the way it's handled. There is something about that going into like a house that deals with secrets that feels kind of, I don't know, maybe a little less on the up and up.
Yeah.
Um,
Am I going too crazy here by pointing out the south node in the third house? Are we, I don't know why I'm putting myself with the perpetrators. Are the perpetrators worried about talking, or is this guy too loose-lipped?
it's possible. It's totally possible. Yeah, it absolutely is. Is anything squaring them?
We still have, sorry, is it squaring?
Or is anything, no, nothing squaring them,
Not
right?
really. I find it interesting. We still have the part of fortune in the first house. It was first house last chart too, I believe.
Yes,
No,
it
it
was.
was because it was Libra.
No.
Or was it?
Oh, shit. I don't.
I
You,
think
you mean the last chart we were just? Let me see.
Yeah.
Here, we'll look.
Sorry, curiosity here.
Yes.
Yeah, either. I thought I saw that. Okay. Things that befall you.
Yep.
That seems to be a theme today, and what we're discussing. We're seeing that before too, and
Serious. Yeah. Seriously.
yeah.
Seriously. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Is there anything else that stands out?
I'll say in the first chart that we looked at, so the time he's last seen, there's patterns of drowning. Now, that doesn't mean it was accidental. It could be someone still involved. This one, not so much.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't see drowning here.
I could squeeze it out of the first one a little bit because you get 12th house sometimes with drownings. It's a traditionally Pisces house, and you can kind of see that because it's a Neptune, modernly Neptune ruled house. But this one definitely is not.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm not seeing that either. So I mean, they found him. I mean, they did find him in the water, right? Like that is where they found him. But it does make me think that I don't know, there's something else going on here that may have just been where he was found.
I'm not saying anyone's liars. I'm not trying to go conspiracy. I'm not trying to do any of that. But I will say, just generally, normally when I would see like Mars and Pluto, especially sandwiching such a strong house like the seventh, I would expect a little more trauma to the body.
Yeah, it makes me wonder what was going on internally. Like if there wasn't visible trauma, okay, but like I'm wondering if, I don't know.
Now this could be dark waters.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. Pluto though. Pluto and Mars teaming up.
It feels more violent than what, which is what makes me wonder what was going on inside his body.
Yeah.
What I mean, I know like Neptune could be like intoxicants.
Mm-hmm.
Probably poisons as well. I wonder if anything else could be poisons.
Let's look, because I was wondering the same thing. Let's see. Poison. Let's see. Okay, Neptune, 12th house, Pisces, Mars, Pluto.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Mars and Pluto. Okay.
And those are strong Mars and Pluto. You know, they're in their home signs. They're very Scorpio.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Scorpio's hidden, you know, it's so hidden. Yeah.
Yeah.
So speculating, could be the guy's poisoned and we stage it to look like he was peeing and fell over the boat.
Since he was known to do that.
He was,
you know.
Now I keep looking at Mercury. I'm trying to figure out what to make of it. Mercury is such poorly positioned in Saggy in a forensic chart. In that 7th house, this is usually a younger person, maybe younger male. Not in this case, not so much a kid, but maybe someone 20-ish. I don't know. I think they had some help or that, or someone saw this and knows something. And
yeah, that's very possible.
It's just interesting. And Mercury over here is just kind of like flashing for me.
I wonder if, and this is 5th house, Virgo on the cusp, be like children. I wonder, and his children, I can't remember how old they were at the time. They might have been in their early 30s or 20s. I might be wrong about that.
Well, Ghislaine, I know when she got, I'm going from memory, but when she got arrested, I think she was at a Saturn return. So that would have put her around 60. So okay. Yeah, probably around 30-ish. Her first Saturn return. Interesting.
Yeah, that that is interesting. I wonder if that could point to something with his kids, and not necessarily that they had involvement, but I don't know.
And we had the fixed star. What did it say? Sorrow for children or something like that?
Should we look at any here?
Sure. I got Taurus.
The rising?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do the descendant to see if anything.
I don't have Taurus. There's nothing.
Oh, really? Nothing at 17?
Yeah, there's 14 and 20. Those are a little. Well, we could look at 20. Maybe it's. Oh, hey. I'm going to take 20 because this is an estimated time. We might.
Okay.
Get this. Love of knowledge, science, much travel, many changes, position of authority, accidents at sea, and drowning.
Huh. That's interesting.
Things that make you go,
That's interesting.
That is.
That really is.
And well, no, it's kind of far from part of fortune. But yeah, that's I think that applies.
I think it does. Okay. Okay, so there isn't one at 17 Scorpio, but there is one at 1504 Scorpio and one at 19 degrees Scorpio.
Let's look at 19, because if we got that 20-degree Taurus making sense, we might have kind of nailed the ascendant and descendant.
Okay. It says a malefic degree, tragedy, misfortune, the quote accursed degree. This degree does not precess. And then the one at 1504 Scorpio, loss, theft, betrayal, abuse, venereal disease, poisoning, drowning, anguish, revenge, criminality.
think the guy pissed off the wrong people.
That's what it feels like to me. And with all that shit in Scorpio, it feels like multiple,
Multiple.
multiple, like, yeah, multiple, not just one. I don't think like one agency, like multiple.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to pull out?
Nah, I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today, wanting to do this.
Of course. Thanks for having.
Yeah, this was fun. I
I do potty humor, so this fed my potty humor needs today. Thank you.
and I can be a little tinfoil hat time. So this kind of shit, I'm like, ooh.
Worked for both of us.
Yeah. Share where you can be found.
Well, thank you. I can be found at brandyburrowastrology.com and Brandy Burrow Astrology on YouTube and Instagram. And Allie, tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me here at Let's F with Astrology. You can find me on my website at saturnseason.com, and you can find me on Instagram at saturnseasonastrology. Well, again, thank you so much for being here. And yeah, I guess I will see y'all later.
See you next time.